Good, good. What's up, Thomas? How you doing? How are you? I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm doing really well. I kind of want Storm to join too, because I'm going to be over his trades. Where are you joining? Oh, there you go. You tagged me. Oh, he's in. Sorry, I didn't see that. All right, let's get started. So we're going to go over Storm trades real quick. Then we're going to do a little bit of back testing. Then we're going to talk about the elections tomorrow, see how that's going to impact news or how that's going to impact the US dollar. But we'll talk about that in a second. So first off, let's go on to Storm's trades. Let's take a look at that. All right. Let me pop out the chat first. Nope. All right, there we go. The whole thing, Storm, basically starting from October 12th, I'm assuming. We'll go over that real quick. We'll see what we got. The new ones. Gotcha. All right. All right, can someone help me out? What's up with this trade? What do you guys think? We're in a bullish leg. I agree with that. You see Storm Howard essentially still following swing structure, and swing structure remains bullish. So essentially for now, you got to ask yourself, what have we taken, what have we taken out? Which structure has been broken? In a bullish trend, if you want to look for a short trade, you want to go counter trend, you want to make sure that you get really significant structure break. Right now, what you're seeing is essentially that price is still following the bullish order flow. So I'd rather be looking for longs from that level. But the rest looks really nice so far. Like this looks like a good trade. One thing that I will say about this is when you get a bunch of equal lows like that, it does lower the probability of a trade. However, it's up to you as a trader to determine how aggressive you want to be. I know a bunch of traders who are really good at taking setups like this, and I also know a bunch of traders who would stay out of that because they're a little bit more conservative. Let's see what we got. All right, nice. Okay, so what is up with this trade? Can anyone help me out? What do you guys think? All right, so you're saying the boss, consolidation, ranging, no strong breaker structure, range bound, essentially yes. So we did technically break out of that range. You got to look at it like this too, right? You're low, you're high, and we're essentially playing within this range. So what you want to see is you want to see a strong breaker structure of the swing high, which is that point right there. We never see a strong breaker structure. We only see that small little body closure above. And combine that with the fact that we are in fact range bound, that makes this a really low probability trade. Also look at how little momentum to the upside there is. Price is really trickling to the upside. It's having a hard time breaking through. So those are just a number of factors that decrease the probability of this trade. But the majority of these look really good. All right. What do you guys think about this trade? What do you think about this trade, Storm, now that I'm showing it to you? Like seeing this now, what do you think about it? Do you think this is a good trade or not? Minor structure. Like I'm not trying to pinpoint like tiny little mistakes or anything. I'm just asking, like, would you take this trade, yes or no? The answer was in this case yes. The reason why I would not have taken that trade was mainly the fact that there's a bunch of liquidity there and also a very, very weak breaker structure with just a small body closure below. That's one rule that we're really strict about, having that solid body closure below or above a high or low. So do make sure that you have that solid breaker structure. And in this case, there's also a lot of liquidity below. So having a weak breaker structure plus a lot of liquidity above, that does lower the probability. Now, I'm not trying to look for, mistakes on every trade, because this could have well just played out. But in the long run, you'll see that this will lower the probability of a winning trade. All right, one issue that I do notice is that you're not necessarily marking out swing structure. I talked to a member about this on call, I think like 2 weeks ago too. Mark out the swing highs and the swing lows. Like make sure you mark out the highs and the lowest point, because oftentimes a lot of people will take, for example, this as their break structure and be like, well, this is a solid break, not knowing that we're waiting for the swing high to get taken, which is that high right there. And then if you look at that high, you see that this is not at all a really strong break. So make sure that you mark out swing structure, which are the external points of price, right? So the highest high and the lowest low within a leg. But honestly, I would say 80% of these are really good. This one's a little counter trend, to be honest. And once again, I'm going to mark out swing structure too, right? Like, what am I seeing? I'm seeing your low, your high, lower low, lower high. So we're essentially still bearish right now. This is going counter trend. But don't worry about it. That's good. I mean, that's the whole point of testing, right? Like trying to find out what works. All right. And I'll say honestly, the majority of these trades are really good. So what I want to write down is focus on swing structure. Mark up the swing structure. And then that significant break of structure of the swing points. Honestly, these two things are kind of my main points right now. But other than that, it looks really good. So good job for sure. It's a little bit of a large shape, but that's fine. Nice. What is up with the different entry levels? Why is this one taken at a different fib, or is it the same? Oh, it's the same. Okay, gotcha. Never mind then. All right, looks good. Solid. What you'll see is that you're following swing structure a lot more. If you look at your winning trades compared to your losing trades, your winning trades are following swing structure a lot more. Do make sure that you're marking out the correct swing structure though. Once again, in this scenario right here, you want to mark out the highest high and the lowest low within that range, which is this high and this low. So that's your swing structure. So your breaker structure is located over here. That's the one that we're waiting to get taken. And this is our low. So make sure that you mark out the correct swing structure, because if you don't, you're going to get used to looking at, the wrong breaker structures. So that's that. Let's see what else we got. Honestly, like comparing this to your losses, like I said, you're following swing structure a lot more, which is really good. Means that your losses are pretty easily avoided in the future. What is your overall win rate right now? Nice. Don't know yet. Didn't finish my testing my. Oh, gotcha. right. Well, it looks really solid so far. Looks good. I think it looks way better than the previous session. All right, man. Good job, for sure. Good stuff. What's that? Hey, Joseph, what's going on? Wow, we got a lot of people in here today. All right, what do you guys want to do first? You want to go and backtest a little bit, or you want to talk about the U.S. elections that are coming up tomorrow? Pull up FX replay. U.S. elections. Gotcha. Am I trading normally this way? Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I am not trading any prop accounts right now, mainly because I don't really trust prop accounts. They'll probably find some bullshit reason to, I don't know, ban my account or something if I trade during the U.S. election. So I am only trading personal account. But yeah, you got to make sure to be cautious for sure. All right, so U.S. elections. Let's talk about them. We're not going to talk politics. We're not going to talk who's better or who's the better candidate. We're just going to talk about what's most likely going to happen if either one of those them wins. All right, so let's say Donald Trump wins. The results most likely, keep in mind that this is just based on my research. So it's obviously not 100% accurate. But there's a couple of things to watch out for if Trump ends up winning. So definitely energy prices, mainly energy prices, oil, gas, whatever, you can expect a pretty strong growth, pretty strong rise. Why is that? That's because Donald Trump, unlike Kamala Harris, supports fossil fuels. So meaning that this will favor fossil fuels. How does that affect the US dollar? I don't know. I'm not sure how that's going to affect the US dollar. I am saying for those of you who trade energy prices, who trade gas and oil and whatever, you can expect a strong growth. Obviously, that's not financial advice. Don't take that as financial advice. I'm just saying if Trump wins, there's a good chance that these will rise. And if Kamala wins, there's a good chance that they will go lower. Oops, let me close that. Also, there will be less regulations on, I got this from IC Markets, by the way. They wrote like a whole article on this. So if you guys want to read that more in depth, check out IC Markets. But that's what I got this for. Finance related. So we are talking currencies now. There's going to be a lot less regulations on banking, finance, also hedge funds, stuff like that. So once again, I'm not sure if that'll positively affect the dollar or not. I do know that that means that most likely it's going to remain easier for traders, especially in the US, because there's going to be less regulations, less restrictions on everything. I don't know if that'll affect the prop industry because, yes, it's a big industry, but it's not that big in the US. Like, it's not that relevant. Also, this kind of ties back into energy prices too, right? If Trump wins, there's going to be a lot more. Oh, shit. If Trump wins, there's going to be a lot more money being pumped into the military, which can also cause energy prices to rise. So that's a couple of sections. If you're really into energy prices and stuff like that, if you're into those markets, I am expecting a big movement to happen there tomorrow. I'm not sure, but I think that that's going to be affected the most if Trump wins. If Kamala, how do you even write? Is that how you spell Kamala? I think it is, right? Kamala Harris, yeah. All right, so her focus is mainly on clean energy, right? So like I said, it's kind of the opposite of Donald Trump. Her focus is on green energy. She doesn't like fossil fuels. So we can expect a bit more trouble with that because she's going to try and reduce the amount of fossil fuels being used. Then, hold on, let me just take a look at my cheat sheet over here. All right, so it also says there's a potential increase in corporate taxes and financial regulations. As opposed to Donald Trump, who is not that much into regulating everything, Kamala Harris wants a lot more regulations. Now, my number one concern when it comes to that is especially for the Americans, that there's going to be a lot more regulations on CFD and futures trading, which might make it harder for Americans to trade, for example, with futures firms or CFD firms. Now, I know most of you guys in here are not American. If you are American, this is what I watch out for the most if you were, or if Kamala were to win. But in general, do I think it'll really affect the dollar? I'm not sure. I don't think it will that much. I think the main thing that'll affect the dollar are these energy prices that they're going to focus on. And excuse me, that's not what I meant to say. I think the main thing that's going to be affected are the energy prices. And as opposed to like everything related to finance, I don't think it's going to necessarily be a problem for people trading futures firms anytime soon. Because obviously if she wins, it's not like the first thing she's going to do is regulate futures firms, because there's a lot of businesses that they need to tackle first before even thinking about futures. So I'm not too concerned about that. Anyways, that's kind of what to watch out for. So like I said, energy prices. If Trump wins, focus more on gas, oil, etc. If Kamala wins, focus on renewable energy, solar power, wind, whatever. I think if Kamala wins, we're going to see a rise in solar energy. And then if Trump wins, we're going to see a rise in the use of fossil fuels. All right. Quick little chat about the U.S. elections. To be totally honest, I have not witnessed any, I have not been around for any U.S. elections. I was, but back then I was only trading euro pairs and I was day trading, and I can't remember how it affected the dollar or anything. So I'm not 100% sure. Make sure that if you are not sure, just stay out. And especially on prop firms, I think on prop firms especially, it might be best to just stay out. Because, they always find some weird rule or weird reason to delete your account. Anyways, let's do a little bit of backtesting. So, name a pair. What are we going to trade today? What do you guys want to see? Me backtest? EU24. Well, the thing about testing Euro USD 24 is that I still remember every trade that I've taken on Euro USD 24. So that'd be kind of cheating. I could do 2023 though. I've done 2023 before too, but orange juice futures. Yeah, we could do orange juice futures. NAS, let's test NAS 100 on, let's do 2023. I'm not sure if we tested that before. I think we did, but yeah, we'll do unless there's anything else you guys want me to test. What about years like 2021? Yeah, we don't really go back past 2022. I noticed that too. We could also do like 2021. Whatever you guys think. Whatever you guys want. It could be US 30 as well. All right, so we have not tested US 30. I know that for a fact. So we can do US 30 2023. And then if we have some time left, we can do maybe a Forex pair and then 2021. All right, US 30 January 1st. Also, I mentioned that I was going to be resetting the account soon. I'm probably going to be doing that on the next billing cycle, which should be in a month, because I just paid off my last, or just paid the previous month. So it's probably going to be by the end of November. So make sure that you just have all of your data saved on a Google Sheet or whatever. And I know it sucks. I hate to, be the one who deletes it, but it's just getting so slow and no one's even able to trade anymore. So we're going to have to delete or reset the account. Otherwise it's not fun for anyone to backtest. It's going to be really difficult. So yeah, just make sure to save your data. All right. Because it's been getting extremely slow. All right, there we go. Delete the markings. All right, so first thing I'm seeing is that setup over there. What do you guys think? No. Hate says no. All right, let's see if we can mark out the steps, right? So we have a break of structure. We have our imbalance over there. However, there's no liquidity sweep, and there's a lot of liquidity laying down here. So that means that one of our rules is not met, so we're staying out of that trade. Isn't the swing structure higher? My main issue in backtesting is knowing when to reset after a large drop like that. Yeah, so I made a video on that actually, Vanlith. I'll send you that real quick. I made a little video on that on YouTube. Let's see. There you go. That's it. Because I got that question a lot. Like, when do you move on to basically more recent structure? Like, when do you move on to the next bit of swing structure? And that's a really valid question too, and it's something that most members have trouble with, especially in the beginning. All right, guys, what do we think about this? Let's see if we can break this down. Bit weak on the push, that's right. But I would take it. Okay, let's see what we got. Breaker structure. We got that breaker structure over here. Do we have an imbalance? Yep, we have that one right there. Is there a liquidity sweep? Yep, over there. And are we following swing structure? We are. Why is that? That's because this is your low, this is your high, and we're essentially following that structure. So we are bullish. So we're going to take that. All right, that looks like a mistrade. That's unfortunate. But our bias played out. It's not still, well, it's not a win literally, but all right, let's move on. What do you guys think? What's up with this trade? Weak break structure. Liquidity too, right? There's a lot of liquidity. It's range bound. We're essentially playing within that range. We don't really get a proper break. We do have a nice imbalance, but overall, this would not meet my rules, so we're staying out. All right, looks like we would have gotten liquidated on that too. But then you see instantly that we have that following long trade, which personally we won't take for the main reason that we don't see a body closure. Van Lith says he's taking the long, which is valid. My rule has to be a body closure above the swing high. Now the swing high is your highest point, which is over there. And I want to see a body closure, aka breaker structure, above that point before I take a long position. Seeing as I'm not getting that, I am staying out of that trade. And I think that would have been a break even if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that would have been a break even trade. But we stayed out. All right. What do you guys think about this trade? Looks good. All right, let's see what we got. Do we have a solid breaker structure? We do. We have a body closure. Do we have a liquidity sweep? We do, but it's a little hard to see, but we do have that liquidity sweep over there. Do we have a fair value gap? We do. And are we following the overall trend? We are. So we're taking that. All right, that looks like it's a risk-free trade right off the bat. And that's our first win. All right, cool.
And it just so happens that my strike rate generally is around 9%.
Nice. In which scenario would you trade ranging markets? I won't. I don't see a point in trading ranging market because my strategy is not suited for ranging markets. My strategy is suited for trending markets. If you were to trade ranging markets, you'd most likely be trading support and resistance strategy, or either a breakout strategy or something like that. But if you were trading a support and resistance strategy, you'd essentially be looking for repeated behavior like that. So you'd be looking for price to be respected multiple times, and then you'd look for a range basically. But seeing as we're not doing that, in our case, we're mostly avoiding ranging markets. We prefer trending markets. That's not to say that trends are worse than ranges. It's mainly like our strategy is just suited to trending markets. All right. Let's see what we got. That's a totally valid long. Do keep in mind that it is against the overall trend, which does lower the probability a little bit, but also, yeah, I don't really pay attention to how it comes back to the entry price. To keep in mind that it does lower the probability, but also if we try and reason every single trade, like if we try and find a reason for every single trade to play out or not play out, we're never going to have a consistent strategy. Because my overall analysis, right, like if I were to do like a completely top-down analysis, I would be looking for shorts right now. Also, I know that if I were to do a completely top-down analysis, it'd be nearly impossible for me to find a trade because there's so many variables and anything can happen really. So let's see, we get a reaction close to break even. We end up taking a loss there. Let's say -1R. So right now we're up 2R still. Because one thing I'll notice too is that a lot of people try to basically, nail every little thing. You guys have probably seen the analysis that I've been doing on YouTube. Sometimes the analysis goes against what I'm seeing, like which setups I'm seeing. But that's okay, because if you go and analyze every little thing, you're going to get a completely different bias. And that's going to make it really hard to consistently trade. You'll probably notice too, like a lot of SMC traders have no, it was a loss, Esteban. A lot of SMC traders have a really hard time staying consistent because there's so many variables to look out for. There's always a reason for the price to be moving up, and there's always a reason for price to be moving down. And there's just so many things to keep track of, which makes it extremely hard for SMC traders to stay consistent. And I know this because I was one. Well, I guess I still am one. I don't really like the concept of SMC. I think it's kind of over exaggerated a little bit. What do you guys think about this trade? Looks good. Yep. We have our rules. Everything's met. We are going, once again, a little bit against the trend. However, like I said before, basically, we're just taking what meets our plan. We're not trying to get the perfect results. We're following a systematic edge that wins more in the long run than it loses. Also, oh, nice. That's risk-free. That reel that I sent in the chat today, I don't know if you guys saw that, but basically the Walter White, whatever the fuck video. Where is it? That one. It was kind of funny. I that popped up on my timeline, and it's like, it's so relatable. Like, it's exactly what trading is, really. Shit, why? There we go. Trading is really nothing more than waiting for probabilities to play out. All right, nice. There we go.
Ik laat me niet domineren.
Oops, that's the wrong one.
They ain't believe in us. God.
Oh yeah, by the way, for everyone who's new, that's a tradition of ours. Whenever we take a win, we'll play annoying little sounds. And then it used to be a lot worse when we first started. We'd constantly be spamming the soundboard. 80% of the reason I joined was the soundboard. We used to spam the shit out of that thing. Alright, that's ranging. Well, not ranging, just trending up very slowly. This could have been a valid trade that we missed out on, but it's really aggressive, so that's okay. All right, let me ask you guys, what do you think about this trade? Yeah? All right, let's see what we got. Let's mark it out, right? We have a breaker structure over there. We have a FEG. Do we have a liquidity sweep? We don't. Not really. In fact, we have a lot of liquidity built up, but we don't really see a sweep. And especially if price is trending up for so long and we're trading a reversal, we're trying to go against the trend. Especially then is when you want to see a liquidity sweep. So we're staying out. This is a good one. What do you guys think about this trade? Let's see if you guys see what I'm seeing right now. The liquidity sweep is far, not necessarily a factor, but that's, I mean, boss is a bit weak, but it looks good. All right. So the boss that we're looking for right now. Wait, let me actually test you guys for a little bit. I'm just going to turn that down a little bit. All right, let me ask you guys. Which one of these highs or which one of these lows, basically which one of these numbers are your swing structure? 2 and 5 is what you guys are saying. One, 3, 4, 5. That's what Eunice is saying. 1, 2, 5, 6. All right. Not bad, guys. All right, let's see what we got. All right, 1 is indeed your swing high. 2 is your swing low. Well, essentially, this could be your swing low too. I just noticed that that's the lowest point, in fact. Then 3, not really. 5, because 5 is the highest point once again. And then 6, correct. And then this would be your shift to the downside, basically, right? But now, let's take a look at our swing high over here. And let's see if we get a proper break of structure. Do we end up getting a proper break of structure of that swing high? We don't. We never really see a solid body closure above, which invalidates this trade. So this is not a valid trade. I know I'm going a little bit more in depth and a little bit more to the basic stuff in this session, but we have a couple of new members, so I just want to make sure that I cover everything before just moving on to the next thing. All right, what do we think about this trade? Now this trade looks really good to me. Why is that? There's a lot of liquidity that was sitting there that now has been taken. We get a solid break below, which is a lot larger than this one. We have multiple fair value gaps, and most importantly, that clear liquidity sweep. Great trade. I agree. No matter the outcome, this is a really good trade. All right, looks like this might be a missed trade. Yep, we're going to delete that. And this is obviously a pretty good looking trade too, right? All right, that ends up being a missed trade. If you ever tried trading the strategy with a lower RR, just ask him, because I found some great success with entering at the 76 or the 67. Way less missed opportunities. I have, and I noticed that this strategy heavily depends on market cycles. I know there were a lot of traders last summer. I remember in the summer, I specifically mentioned that summer months are a lot more range bound. So you're going to see a lot more 1-to-1s and 1-to-2s being respected as opposed to like 1-to-3s. The issue is, basing your strategy on that, is that the market moves in cycles. So let's say you change your strategy to 1-to-2, and then the market goes back into a trend. Now you're missing out on a bunch of R because you switched your strategy to 1-to-2. So if you do end up wanting to trade a lower RR, make sure that you test it in all the different market cycles. I personally have not found greater success trading lower RR. My win rate, or my best results, came from using a 1-to-3 with a 1-to-1 break-even rule. Now, obviously, that's not the same for everyone. So, but whatever you do, just make sure that you test it thoroughly. That is a nice long trade, yeah. All right. And that's a loss. It's funny how I mentioned just now that the summer months are a bit slower, and we kind of instantly see that there's a lot less volume in July. Joseph says, got it. I will need to do a lot more backtesting. Yes, I think overall, absolutely. All right, gotcha. Yeah. So if you do prefer that higher win rate, you can test and see a 1 to 2, for example, will increase your win rate. Do keep in mind that a higher win rate does not necessarily mean that you'll get more payouts or you'll get better results. It just means that you're going to win more. You're going to win more times in a row, for example. If I were to trade a 1-to-1 right now, I'm sure I could get like a 70 to 80% win rate. However, in the long run, my 1-to-3 will still be a lot more profitable. So just keep that in mind. In fact, Mark Douglas wrote in Trading in the Zone, he wrote about this too. There's a trader who had like a 5 or 6% winning rate, but whenever he won, his winners would be so large that they would cover all the losses and then some, which is interesting. I don't know if you guys read Trading in the Zone, but he talks about that at one point. And yeah, it just really goes to show that win rate does not really mean anything in trading. Yeah, what's up?
I have a question. I was gonna write it, but I think it was gonna be too long. I've noticed with my brother that usually most losing trades, guys get really close to the stop loss. So we've analyzed his trades and my trades, and like we haven't do any change or anything, but maybe we've tested if maybe decreasing your stop loss, like not taking the whole range of the stop loss, but just putting a little bit, for example, if you're taking a long, just moving the stop loss a little bit higher than the actual range. Let's say, for example, if we're gonna take that short position.
Yeah. You're saying moving it a little lower.
Like, no, I mean like place it like as you usually do. Right? Not placing the stop loss right in that high, but just moving it a little bit lower, because usually losing trades
like that.
Exactly. Usually if a trade gets to that high, like so high, it's gonna be most likely it's gonna be a stop loss based on our data. I don't know if you've tested that.
I've not tested that, no, but do keep in mind that slippage might become a more common issue with that too, because you're going to decrease your stop loss size too. Now it's not going to be a huge issue, but you're profitable with the 1-to-3, right? Like with the regular 1-to-3.
Yes. Oh, and back testing.
All right. So in that case, yeah, I say try it for sure. If I were to add something to that, I would say then you use the 1 hour to determine your stop loss, because what you'll usually see is you'll see like a high or a low on the 1 hour. Let me go back and see if I can find an example. For example, right here, right, you could put your stop loss like that, but then if you go on to the 1 hour, this high or this low right here would be its own low. So you could test that. So go on to the 1 hour to determine where you're, like which high you're going to place your stop loss at. It's worth a shot. I mean, you can test it for sure, but I would only include it if it really dramatically improves your results. If it doesn't, I would say that it's too big of a hassle.
Yes, that I literally took like around 50 or 100 trades, and usually the losing trades always price approaches really, really close to my full stop loss.
Right.
And then the winning trades usually price rejects immediately.
Gotcha. No buy. No. If there's no FEG, must see. not when it within the entry price. But now that you mention it, this could have been a valid trade for sure. Yeah. Yeah, no, if you want to test that, make sure to just, like I said, you don't want to make it a hassle. You want to make trading as boring and as simple as possible too, right? Like, you don't want to have second thoughts about where you place your stop loss. That would be my number one concern with that, is how do you determine exactly where to place your stop loss every time? Because you want to make sure that it's just very simple so you can repeat it easily. Hades sent in a good image. Yeah, that's really nice for sure. I always love to see this shit. How do I full screen it? Open link. There we go. Risk reward ratio. So it says that you need less than, well, this is not exactly accurate. I think you need a 26% win rate to be profitable with the 1 to 3. Then everything above that is considered profitable in the long run. The issue is that a lot of traders, especially a lot of beginner traders, expect to buy a strategy or buy a course or whatever, and then get a 1 to 3 with a 60% win rate, because they'll see their favorite YouTuber tell them that you can have a 60% win rate with a 1 to 3. In fact, I called out another mentor recently who I worked with. I know some of you guys will know who I'm talking about, for claiming to have a 60% win rate with the 1 to 3, but he tested 10 trades. So obviously people are going to think that you need a 60% win rate with a 1 to 3. Meanwhile, a 35% win rate is a great edge in the markets. A 40% win rate with a 1 to 3 is a great edge in the markets. Everything above that is exceptional. And I know my trading journal says 50% right now, but I used to do split entries too. So in reality, this is closer to like 40 to 42%, which is, don't get me wrong, a really strong, a great edge in the market. That's a little something I noticed too. A lot of traders, I have someone I'm coaching right now, and he messaged me and he tested 1 year of price action on a couple of pairs, but some YouTuber told him that he had a 60% win rate with a 1 to 3. So now he thinks the 35% win rate is terrible. This is really, really good. 6% with 1 to 3. Yeah, printing more money than the Fed. I know, right? But unfortunately, that's the way a lot of people think nowadays, that you need a 60% win rate. Almost no one is in this bracket, really. What has been my longest losing streak? On FX Replay, it's 16. This year, I think it's 6. Let me see. Yeah. 6, and then I've got a couple of losing streaks of 4. I've got one here which is 4 losses and then 2 break-evens, 1 win and then 2 losses again. Usually my average losing streak is about 4 trades. I noticed that a lot, but my max losing streak this year is 6. Was this short valid? Who asked that? Musty asked that. Yeah, no, it was actually. It's a good spot. I didn't even notice that because I was distracted. But no, that would have been a valid loss for sure. I genuinely think that the main issue in trading nowadays is having unrealistic expectations, like tying back into that image that Hades sent in. There's just so little honesty about what a good win rate should be like. And having a 60% win rate with a 1 to 3 is insane. So would you say it's improbable to have 15 losing streak? No, at one point it's definitely going to happen for sure. In fact, there is almost 100%. There is a 100% guarantee that if I execute the strategy long enough, eventually I'm going to end up having a 15 losing streak. Is it likely? Well, we don't know, because that's the whole point of probabilities, right? We don't know if it's when it's going to happen, but eventually it is. I mean, it's inevitable that it's going to happen. And that's something too, like probabilities. Eventually, you're just gonna, FTMO has a good image about that. But eventually, you're just gonna have a losing streak, a really, really long losing streak, and there's no way around that. Which is also why I think trading is so hard for a lot of people. It's because it's completely against human nature to lose and be okay with it, or to lose 15 times in a row. Oh, I can't see that. Let me pull that up. Oh, here we go. 14. Yeah, that's totally fine. Valid for sure. That's normal. That is very normal. And also consider too, Osama, you haven't optimized your data yet, right? So we're still, like, there's still a lot of things that we can eliminate from that. But I have, I think I've got over 800 trades right now on FX Replay, if I'm not mistaken. I'll take a look in a second. We're almost done with this year. I've got over 800 trades, and my max losing streak is 16 or 15, one of those two. And that is with fully optimized data. Like, I tested that once I was already profitable. So you can imagine that if you don't even have a solidified edge yet, that's going to be a little bit higher too. So me with a fully solidified edge, I still have a 15 or 16 losing streak. And there's no way around that. All right, let's see. We're approaching Christmas now, and that's when we stop trading. Yeah, this is where we stop trading. All right, let's see what we got. We have a 50% win rate with 2 wins and 2 losses and no break-even trades. I think we should include one more loss because I think we missed out on one of these. So we would end up with a 2.9 R, which is about 3 R, which is not bad. Not bad at all. All right, let's see how many losses I lost, or like how many trades I lost in a row. The motivational side of this is that if you model your position size to assume you will get into worst probable losing streak, you will gain full control. Yeah, that's key, dude. Drop the mic. That's it. Spot on. That's why risk management is so important too, right? Like if you risk more than you can handle, eventually you're going to be unable to handle that losing streak. And also, for the guys wondering, there's a strategy in here named JB Trades. That is not John. It's not RJB. That's a buddy of mine who has a similar name to JB, but he just put it in like JB. So that's not John, in case you guys were wondering. So don't look at that for inspiration or anything. That's someone else going by JB Trades. That's a buddy of mine who I'm coaching privately. All right, let's see. I've got a total of 600 trades, and I've got a couple hundred more on the other FX Replay account. We've got 2 FX Replay accounts, and then I've got a couple hundred on basically Google Sheets. I got a ton more. That also goes to show, like, a lot of people think that you just need to do a little bit of backtesting. I backtesting like the absolute shit out of literally every strategy there is. The amount of backtesting that I've done is insane. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this image because Joseph asked, do you think 60% win rate with a 1-2 is unrealistic as well? Not necessarily. No, I don't think it's unrealistic. It's a little, I mean, it's on the high end for sure. If you have an optimized strategy. Hold on. Someone's mic is unmuted. Let's just lower the volume a little bit. If you have a solidified edge, you can definitely get to that 60%. However, it's important to know that you only need 40%. So don't try and aim for that 60%. Just make sure that you have a 40% win rate and that you're consistently executing on that, because that's what you need to be profitable. I do think 60% is a lot more probable when you're trading 1-2, But when you're trading 1 to 3, I mean, I don't know anyone who has had a win rate of 60% trading a 1 to 3 for over a year. A couple of traders in the Netherlands, really good traders, they made about 200K in prop firms last week, or from prop firms basically. Their win rate was 39% with a 1 to 3.2 hour on average, which is really similar to my win rate. And they're really good traders, like they're actually really good. So it just goes to show. Yeah, that's the image that FTMO brought out. Let me pull that up. Why is it not loading? That's really annoying. My computer is really slow today. I don't know what's up with that. I'll full screen this, by the way. All right, the probability of seeing at least an X amount of consecutive losing trades within a 50 trade period. Open in browser. Oh, gotcha. Oh, there you go. Thank you. I didn't know that. Just goes to show that it's inevitable to avoid losing streaks. Did I show you guys my max losing? No, not yet. All right, so it's 16. Yeah. My max losing streak is 16. My average losing streak is 3.75, which if I go to my live data, my data from all of my trades this year, you actually see that's really accurate. Most of my losing streaks are around 3 or 4 trades. So that 3.5 or 3.75 is not far off. Yeah. And then my average max winning streak is 4.2. That's a little far-fetched. I don't really have a winning streak of 4. It's more 2 or 3. Anyways, Musty sent his data. Let's see what we got. Oh, dude, that's fucking solid. Holy shit, that's really nice. This is such a strong edge, dude. Insane. This is a really, really good edge. That's really nice, dude. You've come a long way since you joined. I'd love to see it. Yeah, no, this is extremely good. For sure. That's good to hear. Nice, dude. That's awesome. 400 trades, 42% win rate, 90 break-even trades. That's really nice. Beautiful. I know a good friend of mine and a colleague of mine too went from a, I think it's a 30-something win rate to, what was it? Type in win rate. I can't find it right now, but he went from like a 30-something win rate to a 42% win rate too. But yeah, no, that's really solid. Will the probability be higher if you go use on one pair? I'm not sure what you're asking. Will the probability be higher if you go use on one pair? If you just focus on one pair, no, that's not necessarily how probabilities work. Probability just means that one thing is more likely to happen than, something else. It's mainly focused on, let's say you build a strategy and you build that strategy based on 28 pairs and you have a lot of data on it. Let's say 600 trades. Then the probability means that, for example, let's say you have a 50% win rate, that overall, over the long run, you have about a 50% chance of winning your positions. does not mean that you'll win every 1 or every 5 in 10 positions. Just means that overall, in the long run, you'll have a higher probability of winning about 50% of your trades, which is also the rule that I sent in earlier too, right? Like, if you do 1,000 coin flips, you might get 60% heads, but if you do 5,000, you'll get closer to that 50-50 number. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. It doesn't necessarily matter if you go on one time frame or on one pair. That's true, but only on 138 trades came from 2023. Oops. Honestly, dude, this is fire. Really good. Good shit. I love to see it. And also what Van Lith said too is really true. If you master risk management, master your position sizes, in the long run, the edge is going to play out. The issue is, tying back into human psychology too, what I wrote about in that book, the issue is that it goes against human psychology to think in the long term. Everyone thinks short term, and everyone wants instant gratification, right? As soon as you buy that challenge, for example, you buy that prop firm challenge, if we could, we'd want to pass it the next day, which is just short term thinking. We all want instant gratification. The thing is, in trading especially, it's about having that edge that plays out in the long run. You've got to master that. You've got to be patient. You got to understand that it's not a quick, what's it called? Get rich quick scheme, which is unfortunately what it's portrayed as nowadays. A lot of people make it seem like you can get rich in trading, and even what's he called? RF from CP made a video about making 5K in 2 hours. That type of shit ruins the mentality of traders. Like making 5K in 10 hours or making $10,000 a day, stuff like that doesn't make sense, because you can make $10,000 a day and then lose $20,000 the next day, and then win $30,000 the day after that, and then eventually end up profitable. So that's what it's about. Playing things in the long run. Problem is the flexing these days. Cars, watches, etc. Yeah, it is, unfortunately. Well, my biggest flex is a trading office with a bunch of geeks like myself who are constantly analyzing charts and numbers. So I don't really have a car or a watch to flex. No, but honestly, in general, though, the biggest issue, and this actually, because we've had hundreds of people now, because before this server existed, John, Andre, and I, we used to do coaching for free. It wasn't as intensive as this, but we used to help out people a little bit too. And we had hundreds of people who didn't believe us when we said that a 30 or a 40% win rate is good with a 1 to 3. Because they were like, well, I saw this guy on YouTube with a 70% win rate, so I have to be able to get that. That's not what it's about. Thank you, Musty. I appreciate that. I like cars. Yeah, I do. And I'm looking to get one next year. I'm looking to basically treat myself to a nice car. But you won't see me flexing that car on social media, because I worked really hard for it. So I'm not going to be flexing it to get more sales. ICT has 90%. Yeah, right. ICT has 90% with no track record, no trading journal, no prop firm payouts. 96%. That's right. No, I like cars, Thomas. I do. When are you starting prop challenges you mentioned last week? I bought one today, actually. I bought one of the challenges today. I'm probably going to be trading them after the election, so maybe next week. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I might start trading them next week. But also, I've got a ton of work with the office right now, and I want to make sure that that I'm able to provide valuable content. Will I trade gold in the 1 hour? I'm actually forward testing the 1 hour right now. I back tested it. I'm now forward testing it. I've got a couple of setups marked out on the 1 hour. I'm not switching, so don't worry about that. A buddy of mine and I were doing 1 hour challenges. Yeah, so I was testing out this trade today. I think I have something else marked out. Yeah, that one, and then I've got this one too. But I'm testing it, so this one's running nicely, but I'm not really trading it. But yeah, we're going to be most likely either waiting till December or waiting to the new year, and then we'll buy about 10,000 euros worth of challenges with a couple of guys, and then we're going to do 2% per trade and get our funding back up, because I lost a fuckload of funding this year. I think I lost 600k. Yeah, 600k. Trade volume is crazy though. 27. That's insane. Yeah. Anything you're looking at? Oh shit, my mouse is gone. Yeah, let me pull it up. Why does it keep popping up? How do I delete those? It's fucking annoying. Oh shit. Yeah, I do have a couple of setups on my watch list right now. I have CAD JPY. I've got USHF, USDCHF, but I want to see a more solidified closure. I want to see a body closure below, but I did mark it out. And then I had one more, which I can't remember which one it was. Andre had it too, but I don't remember which one it was. Let me pull it up. Team trades. No, I can't remember. I think that's it. This one's really aggressive, by the way. I would never take that. I know that's what Andre does, but I would never take that. You're in USHF. Let's see what's up. Or EuroChef. Oh, I see that. That is a little aggressive, but that's valid for sure. What about GU? Are you guys in GU right now? GU is moving nicely. It's risk-free right now. A colleague of mine took this trade on our account today. I was waiting for 80 short, but he left me for literally 1 pip. You're waiting on 80 USD short? What are you talking about? Oh, that. Oh, I see what you mean. Gotcha. That trade. Maybe I should flex my car, and then maybe I'll claim to have a 90% win rate. Buy a Rolex. I'm actually looking to get an electric car again. I know I said that I was never going to drive an electric car, but I'm looking to get an electric car again. Yep, I am. Must see. Most likely, I'm not sure, because it's a terrible investment. Cars are the worst, and spending money on cars is dumb as shit. But hey, you got to live life a little. Didn't I hate the Tesla? I loved the Tesla. I just hated the fact that you had to charge it constantly. That's what I hated about it. I remember driving to Germany. It was supposed to be a 4-hour drive, and it ended up being close to 8 hours, just because I had to drive and charge for 30 minutes, then go for dinner, and then drive again, then charge, and it just ended up taking so much time. Because usually, like, if you charge the car, you're not just gonna sit inside and wait. You're gonna go out, grab a bite to eat, and then it's 40 minutes past, and then you end up spending hours just in restaurants. Is it cheaper than gas? Not if you charge next to the highway. I mean, it's still cheaper than gas, of course, but charging next to the highway, a full charge would cost me around 17 euros. Charging it at home, a full charge would cost me about 7 euros. Hybrid for now is the way if you want something with yeah, I'm looking to get something with a hybrid car too, yeah. But I am looking to get thanks, Alex. It's good to have you here. Are these calls recorded? Yes, they're sent in the live sessions channel up here. They're sent in here. So I'll be sending that either tonight or tomorrow in the live session channel. Thank you guys for joining. See you later, Esteban. Yeah, I'll stop the recording too because we're kind of done with